Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of history's most fascinating and enduring mysteries, the Great Pyramids of Giza. For centuries, we've been told they were elaborate tombs for pharaohs. But what if they were something more, something far more advanced? What if the Great Pyramid wasn't a tomb at all, but a massive ancient power plant? This might sound like science fiction, but stick with me, because the evidence is surprisingly compelling. Let's start with what the pyramid is actually made of. We all know about the massive limestone blocks, but that's not the whole story. The inner chambers, especially the king's chamber, are constructed from huge, precisely cut blocks of Aswan granite. Why is this significant? Well, granite is packed with quartz crystals, and quartz has a fascinating property called piezoelectricity. This means that when you put quartz under pressure or make it vibrate, it generates an electrical charge. Imagine millions of tons of stone pressing down on these granite blocks, creating constant pressure. That's a lot of potential energy just waiting to be harnessed. But how would that energy be activated? Some theories suggest the Earth's natural vibrations or even seismic activity could have been the trigger. The pyramid's location is no accident. It sits near the convergence of tectonic plates and is a place of high natural telluric energy. That S the Earth, S natural electrical current. The pyramid, with its quartz-rich granite, could have been designed to tap into and amplify this energy. And it's not just about the materials. The very shape of the pyramid is a clue. A pyramid is a natural geometric amplifier. It's a shape known to collect and focus energy towards its apex. Think of it like a lens, but for energy instead of light. Could the ancient builders have understood this principle and designed the pyramid to concentrate energy at its peak? Perhaps to be transmitted wirelessly? This idea isn't as modern as you might think. The famous inventor Nikola Tesla was obsessed with pyramids. He believed they held the secret to wireless energy transmission, and his own Wardenclyffe Tower, designed to send electricity through the air, bore a striking resemblance to a pyramid structure. He saw the Earth itself as a giant conductor and believed a global system of these towers could power the world. Was he rediscovering an ancient technology? Then there's the pyramid's incredible precision. The Great Pyramid is aligned almost perfectly to true north, with an error of just 3/60ths of a degree. Modern construction struggles to achieve this level of accuracy. Why was such precision necessary for a simple tomb? This alignment suggests it was designed to interact with the Earth's magnetic field, much like a component in a complex machine. Every aspect seems to have a purpose that goes beyond simple burial rituals. Let's venture inside. The internal structure of the Great Pyramid doesn't look much like a tomb. It looks more like a machine. You have the so-called King's Chamber, a box made entirely of granite. Acoustic engineers have discovered that this chamber resonates at a specific, very low frequency. When you create sound inside it, the vibrations are amplified in strange and powerful ways. It acts like a massive resonant chamber, designed to vibrate and convert mechanical energy into another form. Connected to these chambers are long, narrow shafts. For years, they were called air shafts, but they don't lead to the outside surface in a straight line, making them useless for ventilation. Instead, they point with incredible accuracy towards specific constellations, Orion and Thuban, for example. What if these weren't for air, but were waveguides? Channels designed to direct energy, perhaps microwaves, out of the pyramid and into the sky, or to receive energy from the stars. The theory gets even wilder when we look at what's beneath the pyramid. There's evidence of underground water channels that once flowed under the Giza Plateau. The movement of water through limestone and granite can create a phenomenon called piezoelectricity, generating an electromagnetic field. Could this have been the initial pump or power source for the entire system? Water flows, creating vibrations and an electrical charge, which is then amplified by the quartz in the granite and focused by the pyramid's shape. It's like a complete, self-sustaining power system. One of the biggest holes in the tomb theory is a very simple fact. No mummy has ever been found in the Great Pyramid. Not one. The sarcophagus in the king's chamber is empty and undecorated. It's also too large to have been brought in through the passages, meaning it was placed there during construction. All the pharaohs we know of were buried in the Valley of the Kings, in richly decorated tombs filled with treasures. The Great Pyramid, by contrast, is stark, functional, and devoid of the typical hieroglyphs you'd expect in a royal tomb. It feels less like a final resting place and more like a utility building. So, if it wasn't a tomb, what do ancient texts say? Interestingly, many ancient legends and writings, from various cultures, refer to the pyramids as power sources or stairways to the heavens. The Egyptians themselves called them Pir-Niter, which translates to house of energy. While mainstream archaeology interprets this symbolically, what if they meant it literally? What if they were describing the pyramid's true function? Of course, we have to address the counter-arguments. Mainstream Egyptologists and archaeologists stand firm that the pyramids were tombs and monumental symbols of the pharaoh's power, meant to guide his soul to the afterlife. They point out the complete lack of direct physical evidence for this power plant theory. There are no wires, no light bulbs, no machinery, and no user manuals left behind. They argue that the resonant properties and precise alignments are either coincidences or have purely symbolic religious meaning that we no longer fully understand. They believe the construction was a massive state-run project meant to unify the kingdom and express religious devotion. And that's a fair point. The absence of direct evidence is the biggest challenge to the energy generator theory. But let's be clear. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. If you're dealing with a technology that transmits power wirelessly, you wouldn't necessarily expect to find wires. The machine is the building itself. So, we're left with a giant, 4,500-year-old puzzle. On one hand, we have the established narrative of a tomb, supported by tradition and the context of other Egyptian burial practices. On the other, we have a growing mountain of anomalies in scientific data that the tomb theory just can't explain. The precise engineering, the unusual materials like granite and quartz, the acoustic resonance, the mysterious shafts, the lack of a body, and the potential connection to Nikola Tesla's work all point to something far more complex and technologically advanced. Could it be that we've been looking at the most sophisticated piece of ancient technology on the planet and just calling it a tomb because we lost the instruction manual? The Great Pyramid continues to challenge our understanding of the ancient world. It forces us to ask whether our ancestors were far more advanced than we give them credit for. The precision, the materials, and the unexplained design choices keep the alternative energy theory alive and kicking. It's a debate that pits established history against tantalizing scientific possibilities. What do you think? Was the Great Pyramid an extravagant tomb for a king? Or was it a marvel of ancient engineering designed to harness the power of the earth itself? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you believe. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the mysteries of the past, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. Until next time, keep questioning everything.